Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. We are on the island right now. We're at the Grand Hotel for the policy conference put on annually by the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce. And I'm Chris Holman. You're listening and watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. And Nathan, it's good to have you here. Nathan Marsden from Merrill. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Chris. How about yourself?
Excellent. So Merrill, so you didn't always have a tag that said just Merrill.
No, we didn't. So what's interesting is this year we rebranded the company. And as you think about it, 10 years ago, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch came together. And what we were trying to do was just really create a simple way for people to understand our company. And at its basic level, we have a large organization, but we serve 3 types of clients through 8 lines of business. And it starts with our purpose of making clients' financial lives easier and better. And then we work with individuals, institutions, and professional investors. And then we do that through our 8 lines of business. And it really is how that organization works together. We were trying to clarify Merrill's the wealth management brand, and that's where we work with individuals and companies. We have our investment banking, we have our commercial bank, and it was a way to finally clarify things when you had 10 different brands out there.
So interestingly enough, the market has been on a pretty good rebound here a number of years. Are you finding the market pretty solid?
We are, and obviously we've been experiencing a lot of volatility over the last 5 weeks. We've had 5 weeks in a row where the market has been down, and a lot of that has to do with Twitter, Trump, trade, the 3 T's maybe. And that's brought a lot of volatility. You've seen the 10-year Treasury come down to 2.2%, lowest we've seen since 2017. And while that's great for consumers and it's great for the ability to refinance your mortgage, it's saying that there's some uncertainty, and the bond market's trying to clearly signal that. And I think a lot of that is around trade and what the outlook's going to be.
Okay, so let's talk about this plan to rebrand. That had to be a long, arduous task.
It was. And because what you're trying to do is you're trying to find a way to convey simply to both your clients and the people that are considering working with you, what does our company do and what do we stand for? And it started, interestingly, with one question. It's what would you like the power to do? And the intent there is to drive a deeper dialogue with clients. And we have great capabilities, and we have the ability to fulfill anything a client needs financially. But it really starts with, we're all, if I ask people what's important to them, I'm going to talk about my son's lacrosse, I'm going to talk about his college education, I'm going to talk about retirement, I'm going to talk about travel, things that are important to you. And then how we can take care of those and make sure those things can be done is what we call integration. So the difference is 10 years ago, if you were a client of our company, you'd have a commercial banker, maybe a Merrill Lynch financial advisor, you might have a mortgage officer, none talking to each other, all talking to you separately, and you're saying, why don't you all get together and why don't all of us have a conversation around, I have all these needs, how can you help me? And really that's what we spent the better part of 10 years doing, is how do we integrate all these capabilities? So when I'm having a conversation with a client, you're having a conversation across our company, and we know who you are, whether you're in the commercial bank, whether you're in the Merrill Lynch wealth management channel, or any other part of the company.
Well, and it's interesting because I say insurmountable because you guys had such branding. I mean, Merrill Lynch was just solid. It was there forever, and people embedded that, and then to change that a little bit, even for simplification's sake. When you combined these, was anybody left out?
No, I mean, when you say left out, do you mean internally or externally? No, not at all. It was just a way of kind of organizing people under an umbrella. So what Merrill's meant to convey is we had Merrill Lynch Private Banking and Investments, we had Merrill Lynch Wealth Management, we had Merrill Lynch Edge, which it was just a way of saying, hey, our wealth management channel is Merrill. And depending upon your wealth level, sophistication, needs, and we'll make sure within that channel you're dealing with the right people and the right expertise.
And how has it gone?
So far, interestingly, it hasn't caused a lot of conversation. It's just kind of the next day happened, and everybody's so comfortable with Merrill. The bull's still there. It'll always be there. It's one of the most iconic symbols in Wall Street. And I think people still, when you say the name Merrill, when you see the bull, people understand what it means.
No, it's interesting when people go through that and they're expecting, the Holocaust or the cataclysm or whatever happens, and really there isn't. There's kind of like, oh yeah, that's right.
And what's interesting is you look at other major brands. Starbucks rebranded. they're more than just a coffee company. Yeah. And we're more than just a wealth management firm. Deloitte and Touche is now just Deloitte. So you're seeing companies that are just really looking at themselves because they've changed. And when you've changed, you're trying to communicate with a brand message. We're different. We've evolved. We're better able to serve you.
Well, Nathan Marsden, thanks so much for clearing that up. And this is a great lesson for everybody out there who's contemplating maybe the simplification of the message they're sending.
It's true. I'll give you one example. And when you think about this whole idea of integration, bringing capabilities together, bringing expertise together for clients in a unified way, what I used to joke around about is, I don't know about you, but do you need another password in your life?
I need fewer passwords.
It's exactly it. And to the extent that we can bring these capabilities to a client in an integrated way around these deeper questions of what would you like the power to do, what are the things that we can help you and your family or your business achieve, and do it without having 10 different providers. If we have world-class capabilities, how do we make your lives easier and more convenient so you have one trusted resource, one trusted partner, and one password to kind of access all of it? It's not a bad value proposition.
It's not. Simplify my life. That's what we're looking for. Nathan Marsden, thanks a lot, so much. And continue good luck with Marsden. We'll see you in another year because we want to see how this has all gone.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
Look forward to it. We are on the island, Mackinac Island. We're at the policy conference put on by the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce. You're on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman.